I struggled a lot with this orphan heart syndrome. I had been a Christian for, would have been roughly 10 years before I really started to see that I was and that I am a son of God in his family and not an orphan, abandoned and left to fend for myself in this world. I remember reading my Bible and praying as a brand new Christian for 1 hour in the morning when I woke and 1 hour at night before I went to sleep. And I did this because I was told that this is what Christians had to do to grow spiritually, right? And if we didn't do this, I mean, it's only 2 hours a day, right? Jesus died for you, Sean. Surely you can give him 2 hours. Honestly, if you can't do this, if you can't give him 2 hours, are you even a Christian? Maybe a backslidden Christian at most. And so I did this for the first year I was a Christian. It was like a ritual, morning and night. And I'm definitely not a morning person, but I was determined and disciplined because I was told that if I did this for long enough, that God would use me powerfully. Did God use this period of rigid, legalistic devotional time? Absolutely, he did. He uses all things. You see, one night I pulled an all-nighter. I helped someone move house all through the night. And at about 6 a.m. I stopped and I was ready to go to sleep. But because it was morning, I first needed to have my time of Bible reading and prayer. I had to. And so, like I did many times before, I opened my Bible. This time, though, I woke in the late afternoon. And basically, my head was in my Bible. Yep. I'd fallen asleep. And I'd woken, I was filled with guilt and judgment and condemnation. I couldn't believe that I'd fallen asleep, that I missed my time with God. I believed that God was angry with me and disappointed for falling asleep and not proving my commitment to him. And so I sunk into what felt like a black hole. I mean, I'd let God down. And this began for me 10 years of wondering whether God was with me or not, whether I was saved or not, whether God loved me or not, on the basis of whether I read my Bible and prayed for 2 hours that day, and along with other things. But I know it sounds silly, and it does to me when I think about it now. I was God's son. I just didn't know it. And so I was living as an orphan, unsure of my worth and how God felt about me. As I journeyed and became desperate for freedom and for rest for my soul. Rest from the torment of not really knowing how God felt about me. I got to the end of being able to in any way help myself out of this struggle, and so I took a deep dive into the gospel of his grace with some help of some friends, and began to understand over time that God has accepted me because of Jesus and what he has done for me. That God loves me as I am and not as I should be, because none of us are as we should be, as Brennan Manning has so beautifully said it. I realized that I was trying to read my Bible and pray and do a lot of other things in order to get God to love me and bless me and accept me and use me. Like an orphan trying to prove to adoptive parents that they're lovable and worth adopting. Truth was, and the truth is, he has adopted me because he sees my worth. He has called me his son. I am his, and that is what I am, his son. He has accepted me, and boy, does he love me. Not because I read my Bible, although I do, just not so much in the morning anymore. I'm really not a morning person. Not because I pray or serve, which I love to do, but because Jesus has done for me that which I can never do for myself. And he has graced me into the family of God. And so I read my Bible because I love to, and not because I have to. I pray to talk with God and listen to him, knowing how he feels about me, that he loves me and that he accepts me, that I'm his beloved son.